Hey guys, Lizardlea here for Christmas Ornaments 2021 Lantern. That one's pretty easy to name because or at least it freaking looks like a lantern. The only thing that confuses me is there's like a green thread right there and an orange thread right there. I don't know if that's intentional because it's not on the pattern. So I mean, I guess it's meant to give it like a flare, like it's lit, but I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I guess I'll do everything according to the pattern and I'll see. And then if I think it needs a little more flare, I don't know why green. I'd probably just do like yellow or orange or even white. Not sure. But I love the ribbon. The ribbon looks so pretty. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna go stitch now.
So at the outro for this, I mentioned that I was super excited to see Spider-Man. And I'm happy to tell you guys, we did see Spider-Man.
You're spoiling the outro, Liz.
Oh, I know. I'll never be forgiven. How dare I?
But yes, we did see Spider-Man.
So, no spoilers. Of the live-action Spider-Man movies, that one was my favorite.
Agreed.
The only movie that I'm not sure which one I like more is it's that one or Into the Spider-Verse. I freaking loved Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, they're
Miles
both
Morales.
They're both very good, and
they're very different. So, I mean, there's like team-ups and
well,
whatnot,
yeah, I was gonna say in an odd way why they're part of what makes them both good is that they have a similar tone and like they're messing with some deep stuff from Spider-Man, but they're also getting to mess around with it in a lighthearted way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's getting out of the way. So, do you want to explain Spider-Man?
I don't do those. That's your job. We discussed this.
I get paid.
You don't get paid. Again, we discussed this, but it's your job.
But if I bring it up again, maybe I'll get paid.
No, I ain't paying you. You make like 3 times what I do.
Yeah, but I can
There's
make more.
no way I'm gonna pay you.
If it's a job.
And yet it is.
So, Spider-Man.
The third one.
Yeah, I'm gonna be very short on this to like not spoil anything. Obviously, short version from both of us is go see the movie. But
oh yeah, like if you are a fan of Spider-Man, whether you've seen the previous movies or not, like,
or if you enjoy Marvel at all,
I love Spider-Man, and I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
Yeah. I think it's a very good Marvel movie. I think it's a very good Spider-Man movie. But this movie does come on the back of the previous movie. That's probably the only thing that would help if you've seen the previous movie, just because it comes right after the end of that. But even then, they do a decent job of setting up what had just happened, so if you haven't seen it, they'll fill you in. Spoilers for that movie, I guess. Spider-Man has been revealed. Everyone knows who Peter Parker is, because Mysterio framed Spider-Man for the drone attack that killed a bunch of people and, claimed it was all Peter Parker, blah, blah, blah. So Peter is the sads because he's getting
a lot of hate?
Well, the book thrown at him. Like, the government's investigating him, everyone hates him, some people love him, some people don't. And it's just, he's now a public figure. He's the most famous man in the world.
Oh, yeah. Going to school, that scene was hilarious.
Yeah. And so now he's got to deal with a zillion people, one way or another worshiping him or hating him. And he can kind of live with it, but then, of course, it's a Spider-Man movie, so, oh, no, my friends!
And his aunt.
But it really comes to a head when his friends can't get into MIT because of him. And also he can't. Because they'd straight say that in the rejection letter. Like, yeah, there's too much...
Due to recent controversies, we cannot accept you at this time.
So like a well-adjusted individual, he immediately runs off to Doctor Strange, master of all magic, to solve this problem. And,
just make everybody forget my identity!
Yeah, but then also not this person, but then also not this person.
Oh, you were supposed to pretend to be Doctor Strange, so I could be like, oh, no, wait!
Yeah.
I want MJ to remember who I am! Oh, and I want Aunt May to remember who I am! Oh, and my best friend!
Yeah,
basically all the people who knew my identity before this Mysterio thing, they should still know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But way better, because Tom Holland is very charismatic. Yeah.
And so this kicks off the events of the movie. So I don't know how many trailers you've all seen. I don't know who's been spoiled of what, so I'm going to shut up there. It's good. Go see it.
Yes. I was laughing almost the entire movie.
Or crying.
I cried a couple times. I happy cried a couple times. Like, it was... I loved it. Spider-Man has always been one of my absolute favorite heroes, like, of all time, bar none. So I've always been attached to his character. I've seen all of the Spider-Man movies that I'm aware of, and I adore most of them. Like, the third one with Tobey Maguire, we don't speak of.
Yeah.
The second one with Andrew Garfield, not as bad as the third one with Tobey Maguire, but not so great. But I don't think Tom Holland has had any bad Spider-Man movies. So...
Yeah, I agree.
Like I've talked about this before, at least with a ton of other people, if not on my YouTube channel. Tobey Maguire nailed the Peter Parker part of Spider-Man. He was such a nerd. He was super dorky. It was perfect. His Spider-Man, not so much. Oh, did the corn go bad?
No, the cucumbers.
Oh. Sorry, he's in the kitchen, as usual, while we're doing narration, because that's what he does.
But they can hear me, right?
No. So... And then Andrew Garfield nailed the Spider-Man part of that character, because he was snarky and he was sarcastic, and that was my favorite version of Peter Parker, was the one who could just be, zingers. I loved it. Oh, yeah. And Tom Holland is the one who nails both sides. He is the perfect Peter Parker. He is the perfect Spider-Man. Now, I know the rest of the world likes to hate on the other two because Tom Holland is so good. Y'all, I let him have some of my kinetic sand earlier, and he dropped some on the floor and he just handed it to me.
We didn't prove that
I am so disappointed in you. I can't believe you. I let you play with my kinetic sand and you drop it everywhere?
It's our kinetic sand.
No. Yours is somewhere else. We just talked about this in the other video.
But there's not a yours and mine anymore. There's just an ours.
We're not married, so no. Everything is still currently mine.
I see. So I can't have my bedroom?
No, it's mine.
I see.
You call your dad's place your house. You call your mom's place your house. No, you don't live here. I live here. This is mine. Anyways.
The look on her face is priceless.
All three of them have their strong suits, and I liked all three of them. So
yeah, either way, this movie is really, really fun. Personally, one, I automatically like it because I like Doctor Strange. I would never have thought. Like, I remember thinking when Iron Man came out, like, wow, they did a pretty good job keeping this just grounded enough that it's fun, but still having fun with it. It doesn't feel like it's jumping the shark, but it still feels interesting. And then I remember hearing they were going to do a Doctor Strange movie, and I was like, well, there goes that. There's no way they'll pull this off. Mm-hmm. And then, of all people,
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes, there you go.
I purposefully, you guys, I always say his name wrong. And David, usually, I've called him out on this recently, so that's why he didn't correct me this time. But he normally is like, Liz, it's Benedict Cumberbatch. And I'm like, yeah, honey, I know. I said it wrong on purpose.
It's Cumberbatch, Liz.
Cumberbutton.
So, either way, Mr. Buttons is a great Doctor Strange. And Doctor Strange is one of my favorite movies out of the Marvel Universe, and they haven't used him since in his own movie. I know one's coming out, but he's always been a side character in all these other movies, so I'm always happy to see him because I think he's really, really good. And there's a lot of really interesting and well-done acting in this, both, obvious stuff, surface level, just him getting annoyed with the kid and whatnot. The scene after he, and, well, you've written them a letter, just...
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. There's some really hilarious moments, there's some really touching moments. And there's a lot of well-conveyed subtext for, people who have been along the Marvel roller coaster the entire time of, what happened with Tony and how, Tom Holland or Peter was his kind of adopted kid in a way, and dealing with that sort of guilt of what happened to Tony and now what's going on with Spider-Man and him screwing all this stuff. It's really subtext level, but very well conveyed. And just good acting and good writing and really cool fight scenes and whatnot.
Oh, yeah. The action scenes in this movie were amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's hard to discuss this movie without spoiling the heck out of it, so I think I can leave it there if you're good.
Yeah, you need to see it. If you like Spider-Man at all, you need to see it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
And then the other thing we just finished is the second season of The Witcher.
The Witcher!
Starring...
Geralt. I said it. I said it right. Nice try.
Say it again?
Geralt.
Geralt.
No, it's Geralt.
Geralt.
Geralt. Geralt. You're messing with me.
Am I?
Yes, you
Geralt?
are. It's Geralt.
Geralt of Rivia?
You said it wrong.
I stumbled over Rivia, yes.
No, we're done. We watched it. It was good. Bye.
So the second season takes off where the first season left off, which is, frankly, way too complicated and nuanced to convey easily. So the short summary is, there's a girl named Ciri. She's magical and special. This dude named Geralt has to...
Oh, I'm sorry. What was his name?
Geralt, like I said.
Geralt.
Yeah.
Geralt.
Yeah. Geralt.
You just said it differently.
Yeah, now you see what it's like? So...
Screw you.
The Witcher is trying to protect her because he's, like, magically fated to. It's basically high fantasy mixed with dark old fairy tales, mixed with, like, Game of Thrones intrigue. There's a lot of
violence.
There's, like, one. Oh, wait, did you say violence or islands?
Violence?
I heard islands.
Why did you think I said islands?
Because I heard islands! This is how you act 90% of your life. Don't you judge me.
No sense!
Don't you judge me. That's what it's like. I was like, they didn't...
See, no, because when I think you have said something ridiculous, I ask you what you said. I clarify. You were like, yeah, there's like one.
For the record, folks at home, no, she does not. No,
yeah, I do.
Not every time, no. There are many times you're like, well, that makes no sense whatsoever, David. And I go, well...
And I tell you what I heard.
I told you what I heard.
No, you
asked.
went with it, and then you were like...
You have done that Anyways, the show is good and Liz is wrong.
I'm not wrong, it is good. I said that. Mm-hmm. Screw you. Go to your room. Which is Jake's room now, at your dad's place.
I see. No, they, I think this season will do better because it doesn't do any time skipping. That didn't bother me. I know it bothered a lot of other people because they were like, well, wait, I don't understand what's going on. And I thought it was a really interesting way to do it, but apparently we can't.
What are we... Time skipping? What do you...
Season 1, they did it out of order. Like, some of the stuff was in the future, some of the stuff was in the past. And
yeah, so I rewatched Season 1 just before we watched Season 2. And I understood Season 1 a lot better this time around. Just because, I don't know, it was very weird how they were jumping around with the time. But on rewatch, I freaking loved it. It was great that it was out of order. But yeah, first time... with absolutely no knowledge of the books or the games or anything, it was confusing. Like, what characters aged in the different timelines? The grandma looks the same age no matter when you see her.
Yeah, because they're all not that far apart. Like, they're playing fast and loose with it, because yes, they've only got so many actors.
It was like over a decade away.
Yeah, and someone going from 50 to 60, who's like a warrior queen,
Yeah, she'd have a lot more gray hairs.
And again, magic is like prevalent in the world. She has her own personal wizard doing her
touch-ups. That's what made it confusing to me, was that the only character... Well, no. Nobody ever aged.
Not really, no.
No. None of the people you see...
Age.
There's
a little bit of, like, their outfits change, but yeah, no one's really aging because they don't have time for that. So, yeah. I don't subscribe to time. Anyways...
I would like to also unsubscribe from time.
So, they do a really good job in this season, I think, especially like the very first episode. Like, if you tried the first season of Witcher and finished it and were like, maybe, like, all the cross-stitchers who watch Witcher. It's worth at least watching the first episode and seeing of season 2 and seeing if it does it for you, because I think it's kind of quintessentially what Witcher's about.
Was that the tree or Beauty and the Beast?
Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
The tree is
Yeah, I was good, because that's what I was going to say. I was like, if the tree was first, I didn't care for that one very much, but the Beauty and the Beast one I liked.
Yeah.
Because, Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, and they take a twist on it. That's
oh yeah, no,
very
it
well.
is not your typical Beauty and the Beast.
No, yeah.
Once you watch it, you'll be like, Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. So they do a lot of crazy stuff.
Yennefer is still my favorite character.
Mhm.
With, what's the bard's name?
You're all...
No, the bard.
Yes.
Jaskier. Jaskier?
Yeah.
He's my second favorite.
Mm-hmm. He is...
Geralt is still kind of a mopey baby, which makes him not the most interesting character, but I don't hate him, so that goes far.
For the record, Henry Cavill nails the role. Like, he is... It's amazing how perfect he is if you've played the games. Like, it is stunning what he's managed to do with this. And it's actually, I think, a hard character to play. As much as you're like, he's a mopey baby. That's kind of the point, that he's supposed to be this incredibly buff, intimidating-looking guy, and they're all rumored to not have emotions or feelings, and he plays into that, but still obviously has emotions and feelings.
Oh, yeah.
And so he is hurting, but he's not always showing it, and Cavill manages to, like, convey that, which is not easy.
I do agree, yeah.
And also in character, looking and sounding like the character. It is...
His voice gets so deep. I don't know. I hope he doesn't have, like, throat problems from trying to make his voice
worth
so
it.
that deep.
Thank you for your sacrifice, Mr. Cavill. So, but yeah, no.
If we ever meet him, I'm going to have to remember that this video.
Yeah, right. You can watch all of our cross-stitch reviews.
No, just this one. Here you go, sir. These were my boyfriend's thoughts back in the day.
With John Kane.
Thoughts with John Kane.
So yeah, are we at the end?
Do you have anything else you would like to add?
I would recommend it. Both are very good. Spider-Man is definitely the better of these two, but I think The Witcher is very fun.
Yeah, like, if you haven't seen the first season of Witcher, I would recommend it. I'd say give it a try. And if you're like me and you have no knowledge of anything, be aware there will be time jumps. You may not always understand it, but...
It'll be cleared up.
Yeah, you'll get there. It'll be fine. And it's good.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, there are bloody scenes. There's action. Are there naked people?
Oh, yeah.
There were naked people, right?
There were naked people.
Yeah, there were naked people. There are curse words, so, you know.
It's an adult thing.
The typical thing that we talk about on my channel. Anything else?
I got nothing.
Alrighty.
And that is the end of Christmas Ornaments 2021 Lantern. I got 2 hours and 13 minutes of footage. There it is. And I think the shine looks fine without random colors over it, so I'm cool with it. There we go. Now it's focused. Nope. Doesn't want to focus up close. Whatever. I might be able to get another one done. It's only 10:12, but I think we're going to a movie or something. I'm not sure. I was told Spider-Man yesterday, and I'm very excited to see that, but if it's not Spider-Man, I'm going to be, like, super disappointed. At the very least, I'm going to pull the colors for the next one, so that I'll be prepared to cross-stitch tomorrow after work, maybe? Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that jazz. We'll see you guys in the next video.